What's up, legends? Benchmark Bets is back, and I've locked in 2 NBA picks. But that's not all. I'll take you through some leans that I like in today's small NBA slate. So buckle up, I've done the homework. Let's hit these and stack these wins. So, for all my player prop research, I use PropsMadness, easily the best tool out there for player props. If you want to step up your game, hit the link in the description below to get 25% off your first purchase. Trust me, this tool is a game changer. Alright, let's get into the picks. So, for the first pick, I'm looking at Joel Embiid over 26.5 points. So, for the season, he's over this line in 8 out of 21 games, averaging 23.5 points, which isn't the best. However, it gets better. So he's expected to play between 28 to 38 minutes. And also, over the last 15 games, the Cavs are giving up the second most amount of points in the mid-range, where he likes to score 25% of his points. So when you filter in both of those things, he's over this line in 3 out of 4 games, averaging 30.5 points. This game is projected to be close and also has a decent game total. So Embiid should have no problem scoring over 26.5 points. And then for the second pick, I'm heading to the Bulls and the Nets game, and I'm going with MPJ over 25.5 points. So for the season, he's over this line in 17 out of 31 games, averaging 25.7 points, which is already decent, but it gets better. MPJ scores 35% of his points within the paint, and over the last 15, the Bulls have been giving up the 9th most amount of points. So when you filter in weak defenses against points in the paint and also his expected minutes, he's over this line in 8 out of 11 games, averaging 29.4 points. Not only that, when you also use the same filters for his minutes and also for catch and shoot plays, he's over this line in 7 out of 9 games, averaging 27.9 points. Also, the game isn't expected to be a higher total. However, this is where it gets interesting. So, when you filter in points between 225 to 235, he's over this line in 10 out of 15 games, averaging 27.2 points. So, pretty much a trend here. MPJ still loves to score regardless of the points total, and also loves to score because of the soft matchup. So MPJ for over 25.5 points is my second and final play. However, this isn't the end. If you have been watching the videos, let's go through some leans. So for the first lean, heading back to the Cavs and 76ers game, and I'm going with good old Evan Mobley over 9.5 rebounds. So for the season, he's over this line in 16 out of 36 games, averaging 8.7 rebounds, which isn't the best. However, this game is a bit different. So I was watching the film from the previous game, and Allen was pretty much taking Embiid out of rebound contention and letting Mobley grab most of the rebounds. As you can see from the last head-to-head matchup, he grabbed 13 rebounds from 26 chances, which is already very, very decent. And also for the season, the 76ers are giving up the 10th most amount of rebounds. So when you filter in favorable matchups for rebounds and also his expected minutes, he's only over this line in 7 out of 14 games, averaging 9.6 rebounds. However, it's about the expected matchup that's going to happen here. Also, one reason why I'm not taking this is because this might not happen again, and Allen might just grab the rebounds for himself. However, it is plus money, so definitely something I will consider closer to the game, especially if the Cavs stick to their strategy from the last game. And then that's pretty much it for the Cavs and Sixers that was liking. Obviously, the Embiid play I have. Then I had another lean in the Pelicans and Pacers game, and I was looking at Johnny Furphy over 12.5 rebounds and points. So pretty much for the season, he's only over this line in 7 out of 21 games, averaging 9.6 points and rebounds. However, since he's been starting with Matherin out, he's over this line in 4 out of 8 games, averaging 12.5 points and rebounds. He's expected to play between 19 and 29 minutes, where he's over this line in 3 out of 4 games, averaging 14.5 points and rebounds. Also for the season, the Pelicans are giving up the second most amount of points and rebounds to the position, and also have been giving up the 7th most rebounds, and also the 6th most points in the paint allowed, where Furphy scores 50% of his points. Also, Furphy scores most of his points from catch and shoot plays, where the Pelicans are giving up the 9th most amount of points. So all signs are pointing up to Furphy going over 12.5 points and rebounds. The only thing that is not making me take this, he's only expected to get between 4 to 6 field goal attempts. So hopefully he can get those and get a bit more. And this should be a very easy line to cash. So heading back to the Bulls and Nets game, and I'm going back to MPJ, but instead I'm going for his 3-pointers. So for the season, he's over this line in 20 out of 31 games, averaging 3.8 3-pointers. However, this is a bit different. So the Bulls are giving up the 13th most points 3-pointers, which is pretty much middle of the pack. So when you filter out the bottom 15 teams for 3-pointers, and also he gets the expected minutes, he's over this line in 8 out of 12 games, averaging 3.7 3-pointers from 9.4 3-point attempts. In the previous game, he did get 5 3-pointers from 12 shots, so hopefully he can have the same amount of volume. However, this is lean, and I would go with his 5 threes and 6 threes for some very good odds. He should get close to that. And then that's pretty much it for all the picks and leans today. If you're enjoying the content, smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And comment down below your favorite player for today. As always, stay safe, good luck with your bets, and I'll catch you in the next video. Laters.